Hello, this is Lisa Shea, the low-carb editor at BellaOnline.com, and this video helps you see how to use the basics of a kitchen nutritional scale, or a kitchen weight scale. I have three scales here. This is a Cuissential Nutrition Scale, this is an EatSmart Basic Scale, and this is an EatSmart Nutritional Scale. And pretty much any scale you find out there on the market is going to be like one of these scales. So let's get started. There's usually an on button. You press the on button, you let it hit to 0, and then you put the item on. And your scale should tell you the weight in either ounces or grams, whatever you prefer. Most scales give you both of those options. So you hit the on button, let it 0, tells you the weight in ounces or grams. Go to the third one, turn it on, let it hit to 0, and tell the weight in ounces and grams. And I do have separate videos of how to use each of these in detail. This is just a general overview of how to use scales in general in case you don't have one of these particular ones. So we can weigh a lemon, put it on, see the values for each of the different ones. And why this is useful is that there's many web tools out there, including at Bella Online, where you put in the weight of the item that you've got and it'll tell you exactly how many carbs and calories and fat and salt and so on are in the item based on its weight. So it's always good to know the weight of the object you're working with, and then you can find out all the other nutritional information for whatever kinds of details you want to be tracking. Now what if you have something that has to go in a bowl? All scales should have a tare feature or a 0 feature. What you do is you put the bowl on, or the plate or the mixing bowl or whatever, you hit the 0 and it sets itself back to 0 with that bowl on there. So now the stuff that you put in, it's only measuring the items that you're adding into the bowl. And that way you can find out the weight of just the stuff in the bowl. So if you're making cereal, you can find out just the weight of the cereal and not have to try to make a pile of cereal on top of your scale. So we'll pull these out again. We'll put just the bowl on the scale. We'll hit the tare button. That's T-A-R-E. It sets back to 0. We put in our strawberries, and now it's going to tell us the weight of just the strawberries in there. And then we'll try it over on the third one. We'll put it onto the EatSmart Nutrition Scale. We'll hit the tare button. Goes back to 0. And we put the items in. So pretty much any kitchen scale that you get should have a tare function so that you can do this sort of thing and measure things inside a bowl or a pitcher or a plate or whatever you need to do that with. So those are what a basic scale will do, which is what the center scale is here. However, the scales on the far left and the far right are nutrition scales, and let me show you how that works. So nutrition scales generally come with a reference guide, and this gives you a code number for a variety of different kinds of foods. So an apple will have a code number and an orange will have a code number and so on. So what you do is you look up the code number for the type of food that you're going to put on it, and I will have to look one up here for in a minute. And once you've used it for a while, you get to memorize the code numbers for things you use a lot, so you don't have to look them up anymore. So we're looking up strawberries. And we get the code number for strawberries, and we type in that code number into the system. And in this scale, it happens to show it in the top left corner. So then we put on our strawberries, and it had already remembered about the bowl because we had tared it before. So now that it knows the weight of the strawberries, we can push these other buttons and see the calorie value of those strawberries. You can see the carb value of the strawberries, see the protein value of the strawberries. So it can do all sorts of things. It can do the salt value, it can do the cholesterol value, the fiber value, and of course the weight. So it knows all of these things because it knows the composition of a strawberry, and since it knows the weight of it, it knows what values it has for each of the component pieces. So let's look up something else. I was going to look up mangoes, but it wants the mango to be peeled, and my mango is not peeled. And it wanted a lemon to be peeled, but my lemon is not peeled, so we'll go for the banana, because the value in here for banana is a banana with a peel. That's one of the downsides with these codes, is that they have particular combinations they want to use. So if you want to be accurate, then you use the combination that they have programmed in there. And otherwise, you're close enough. So we type in the code for banana. We put on the banana. Well, we reset it first because we had it tared to the bowl before, so now we're starting from 0. We put on the banana, and once again we can figure out its protein value, we can figure out its salt value, the fat value. So it knows all of these different kinds of values, the carb value. So we can easily get our hands on all the different data without having to go look it up on the web somewhere. And both of these nutrition scales also have a memory feature, so you can program in one food item, add it to memory, do the next food item, add it to memory, and then it will tell you the total result for the whole recipe without you having to add them up. So we've got the basic scale. I'll set that back to 0. The other nutrition scale, it's already timed itself out and turned itself off to save its batteries. And any scale you find on the market will probably be like one of these kinds of scales. They're easy to use, they're very useful in knowing what your nutrition intake is, and I highly recommend that you have one for all of your menu planning. You can visit lowcarb.bellaonline.com for more reviews and information, and thank you very much for watching.